Hello and welcome to this tango video tutorial. We are Iris and Helmut, and today's tutorial is about backward ochos and the parada from the backward ocho. We start with apertura, and after the second backward ocho, we have the parada. We walk back, have a second parada from the forward ocho, and we finish with two forward ochos and the caminata. Remember, when it's about ochos, one of us needs to take one more step. In that sequence, it's the leader for entering the ochos and for exiting as well. The other thing that we want to remind you is that the position of our pelvis is perpendicular towards each other. So we start in the apertura parallel, and we want to reach the state where we are perpendicular. Now you can't see it because I'm blocking. Let's have it from the other side. So we have the apertura, and we change the position, and by that we go. And you see it very nicely how Iris is establishing that. With her arms, she's with me. She's not trying to be fully with me. In the modern ocho, we prefer to have the space here later for example, a voleo. But still, I feel her intention, and that here the connection is continuous. How do we communicate the pivot? We said we want to keep the same position of our wrist, and if I pull, she's not letting it happen. So instead, I feel there's a resistance. If I do the apertura and I start to have this little pulling, it will result in the twist of her body, and with the rotation, she will find this position. The first exercise was to pull very gently and just to let our partner understand the limit. So not yet to trigger the pelvis, but to feel like, okay, if I'm pulling, she's also pulling. If she's not doing it, don't do it once, like I will move her hand and her arm. I'm not really pulling, I'm just like creating a little bit of tension, and at the same time I can support her on the other side with pushing a little bit, and like this we can communicate the pivots. In the embrace, it will look the following. We want to keep this position, and we have the first one. We have the second one, we have the third one, and we have the last one. We face each other, side step together, and we exit. One more time from the other side. So we have the apertura. I start to push and pull. You see my shoulders stay the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. We face each other, and we exit with the caminata. One time the sequence more fluid, so we arrive, we have the growing from the apertura, we go into the first ocho, and we have the continuity of the ochos. We face each other, later we will see different exits. Now the second part, it's a very famous sequence. Let's stay in this. So we have the apertura, and to calm down the dance very often we can use a parada. I recommend really use this position for 2 seconds to face your partner and to have some interaction here. There are different ways to resolve that. I suggest today to walk here. Here I stopped her by stopping my own body and by expanding a little bit. I'm not physically telling her stop. So just from having this, I'm a little up, and I keep the Dana movement. Now I release, and by releasing I change my weight, And this is what is calling her to her axis as well. From here, I lead an ocho, I lead a second ocho, we face each other, and we exit to the caminata. One time to the side. So we have the apertura, I have the ocho as before. Now to stop her, I grow, I reposition myself, I release, change my weight to trigger her change of weight, and to exit, I have one up and up, ocho in opposition, and the other one I wait for her. One time from the other side, and apertura, ocho, ocho parada, position yourself, second parada, sandwich position, pasada, ocho, and ocho, to exit, and caminata.